Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Hyper Metroid. This is the third video. So we and this continue on and actually collect some more things. I should mention with the recordings I end up doing, because many of you know I use SMV files, then I record the AVIs off those files, then usually mash everything up together. Then with this, because I was just playing it with a group of other people, I was just recording SMVs, and then once it got to a certain point, I would stop it. So there are quite a few very different time lengths in this, just because of certain different reasons. But anyway, this room had Charge Beam, which you can get much earlier. It's also very interesting. This is also teaching you a couple of things, because now you are locked in this room. So it's like, oh, these guys, now we know we can destroy these guys. So now the other couple of missiles that I saw before, we can actually go get those now. Even though one of them we could have got before, because reasons and stuff when I'm a doofus. But yeah, we got grapple and charge beam in Brinstar. I think, I'm not 100% positive about this, but I think the intended thing is to get one more major upgrade here. So I could be wrong about that, but I think you are supposed to have that before getting to the next area for your next major upgrade. So at the very least, there is one more major upgrade in here we can get now. So again, that is something with open-ended hacks like this, with ice metal, with area or whatever. There's really no direction. It's like you just go places and find stuff. And that's why I think the idea to do the terrain segment around Morph Ball, that's why I think that was such a good idea, because through the rest of the hack you may be pretty directionless, but once you do get everything together in an order, you know where the end game is, so you're not spinning forever, sort of like Airy, looking for one little thing to advance. So this missile we could have got earlier, but didn't, because it looks like, oh hey, there's a coma block in the way, right? While that's true, these platforms over here are bombable, so you didn't actually need charge beam to get this. You could have just bombed the platforms and destroyed them. It would have worked just fine. But hey, we got a missile for that. And again, I really can't say enough about that ammo system. It has been talked about for a little while, but actually being in use, and it's working pretty much as good as everyone had hoped for. So yeah, I am definitely going to suggest that for every single hack ever. Just imagine how much easier some other hacks would be with it. Of course. Oh, yes, before I mention anything else, this is interesting. Made some of the enemies, obviously the graphics are a little different, made them into moving grapple points. It's a neat little idea. So you can kind of just see them on their tracks, per se, moving along, so that's something. It's really, really interesting. And I had trouble with this room for reasons I don't know. There's actually grapple blocks at the very top, and it might have actually helped out if he'd made the track a little shorter so you didn't get stuck in the walls like that on either side. But Oh, it's also just me being bad. But yeah, there are grapple points up there. Like I said, I am being a doof in this room and being very, very silly. Because you could IBJ up this very easily as well. And yes, there is an item here. Don't worry, I do come back and get that. I didn't notice the dot right away. Oh, yeah. Another feature of Charge with Project Base is any drops from enemies will be drawn towards you while charging, so that's a nifty little thing. So yeah, and the missile's just hiding out up there. So the other thing I was going to mention with the ammo is that, you know, some people making hacks might want to really limit the amount of supers and stuff you have. I guess with this ammo system, in order to do that, you could simply make supers take more than 10 ammo or whatever that this hack does. You can make them take 30. And power bombs only take 5, or something like that. I'm sure you could play around with it, however, and figure that out. Something that would work for that. So in this Brinstar area, we get to Spore Spawn just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And now I certainly do believe this is actually where you're supposed to go next. And as you can see, there is a gate number 4. Locking our way there. A lot of times that you see number gates like this out in the wild, I guess, that aren't in front of terrain. The switch for them is very nearby, very close, very nearby close. Yes, undo. Doesn't mean you will always be able to reach them quickly, though. This one you can, because it's literally right after Spore Spawn. It takes a while to close. I didn't jump up and hit him there just because he was over top of me, even though full of energy really wouldn't have hurt anything. I was being a doof. And there is something to mention about the gates in that I think it's the first numerical gate in each area, because there's 3 gates per area. Which is where the 15 comes from. So you've got Criteria, Brinstar, Norfair, Meridia, and Wreck Ship. And there's number 4. So you open that. That's the second gate, and I pressed through it fast again. I didn't want to do. But it said you've unlocked this gate, 13 remain. So then I do the next one, it'll be you unlock this gate, 12 remain. Just giving you a constant update on how many you have left. But I believe with each area, unlocking the first numerical gate in that area, because Criteria has gates 1 through 3, Brinstar has 4 through 6, Wreck Ship I believe is 5 through 8, Norfair is 9 through 12, and this is the other major item. The Moon Boots, which shoot you up, but yeah, and then Meridia has the last 3 gates, but yeah, the Moon Boots are quite a thing. You already have a really high jump normally, and these just throw you off the planet. I'm not sure the exact height, but that is a long way. But I wanted to get back up there, and I could have easily, but I'm a doofus. Because the bombs end up destroying the Ripper. I believe bombs, I don't know the values, but I believe bombs are one of the strongest weapons in the whole game. And there it goes again with that crouch jump thing. I also don't like that holding the run button and then jumping from a standstill position puts you into a spin jump automatically. It's like, why? It's like so many things are trying to discourage you from holding the run button for some reason. And I don't know about that. Also, something with high jump I should mention. It allows you to actually gain height underwater when wall jumping. That is a thing in this, and it is used. It's a feature. It allows you to do quite a bit of exploring in Meridia, which again kind of gives the player the idea that, oh hey, I should be going a lot of places in Meridia, when that's not necessarily the case. So we got some nice slate gray Brinstar going on. A door opened, I'm presuming because we defeated Spore Spawn, which lets you get back here quicker, or something. It lets you get back to a place. I think what I was looking at right now is, oh hey, Kraid's up there, and then either a person or Elminster was also looking for Kraid or something, so. Or one of them had supers, one of them didn't have supers. Something or other. I don't know. Again, I was in a Mumble server when I was playing this, so. So, I see Kraid. I'm like, oh. Maybe Kraid gives me supers. They're talking about supers and being around Kraid. So, that and it being Kraid, normally he's the first major boss you fight, kind of makes me want to go there. And again, this room, for whatever reason, I am bad at this room. I can't explain it. I guess I have a hard time grappling with it. Also, Pseudo Screw Attack is a very powerful weapon in this hack. I believe it starts coming up in this video. But the lettuce leaves and the side hoppers, I was mentioning before, there's something a little interesting going on with them coming up in the next couple of rooms. So yes, I'm a doofus and decide to spike myself to death. Jump into a deadly key hunter. I did some things very strangely. But up here's another energy tank. Again, not very hidden at all. And I do like these green old criteria, or old Brinstar blocks rather. I do like those. And that room just looks suspicious, but I guess there really wasn't much there. And I'm also bad at jumping in spikes. So anyway, we have pumpkins now, which can't be hurt by a non-charged beam. I guess this is just supposed to be the means of RealRed saying, hey, you shouldn't be here right now, go away. But again, I can still destroy them with missiles, I can destroy them with charge beam. I have both of these things, so that's really not a deterrent to me. I don't know. I mean, using enemies as deterrents is really not something that works very well, I don't believe. It's like, okay, well, they're just stronger enemies. I can still hurt them. These aren't impassable enemies for me. So, it just turns out being like something that's just a minor inconvenience. I have to manage my ammo or something. Be a little more careful not to be hit, because the enemies probably hit a little harder. Things like that, but it's not something that's going to make me turn back. And I don't think that's something that's going to make a lot of players turn back either. And Metroid is an exploration game after all, so it's like, oh, tougher stuff. Maybe there's some better items back here. Maybe I can get supers or something. Even though right now I'm really just looking to get to Kraid. So yeah, a lot of things Grime does really cool with. Palettes and stuff. I do like a lot of its palettes. Not so much the mustard Brinstar thing or whatever, but palettes in general are pretty good. So, yeah. That super missile door. This is when the super missile doors really started driving me a little bit crazy. Because there's a super missile door there. And Kraid is back there. So now that I found it out, I can't actually get to Kraid yet until I have super missiles. And or speed booster. So it's like, what? I'm not too happy with that, but this is also partially my fault because I did sort of IBJ up here. And I have the freedom to look, I just really can't do much of anything right here. The good news is, there's no speed booster required because we have a Decora. And it looks like a little switch underneath. A switch without a number, by the way. Just a regular gate switch. Which there are a couple? There really aren't that many of them. So but that opens that up, that extends the bridge. It allows the Decora to run across after you destroyed all the obstacles. The Decora in turn destroys those green blocks that stand out. But there's still this super missile door to get through, and I obviously can't do that. So that's kind of depressing, but I get a missile out of it. So hooray for that, I guess. Also to note, above the Decora, those speed booster blocks, you're really not going to be able to do anything about those for a while. I guess those are supposed to be more of a hint for a secret. Because there is sort of a little Easter egg room in this hack, at least one of them. So yeah, that's an interesting one. You see, this room is a little bit more difficult to traverse, but it has a reason to be. This is like an actual puzzle room. It's surrounded by other rooms that are easy to navigate. And so when you break up your puzzle rooms like that, it makes a big difference overall in terms of the flow of the hack. You're not constantly being bogged down by, oh, I have to do this room now. I have to get through this stupid thing again. And instead, the puzzle rooms stand out a little more. You're going to not hate them, basically, nearly as much, unless it's a really bad puzzle room. So this is an advanced key hunter. Green key hunter from the wreck ship. And suddenly there is a side hopper with some armor plates on it. And these bugs are a little tougher. I can't hit this thing with my beam. This just takes me back to the same decor room for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, the side hoppers hurt a little more. And they're not disc gigas either. They're actually just a copy side hopper. Given some new graphics and stuff. And these pumpkins are great for farming because in Project Base, you can shoot projectiles and they will drop pickups and stuff. So you can refill your health off those and whatnot. Now, the pseudo screw attack does a really good job of tearing through a lot of enemies. Like the armored side hoppers, there's armored lettuce leaves as well. I mean, you could shoot them like that and stuff and fall on spikes like a dingbat. I mean, you can use your missiles and stuff, but the pseudo screw attack does the same exact thing. So, yeah. Again, not a super huge deterrent. So yeah, and that's a power bomb door, but you can see the door's marked on the map and there's a room after it, so that one's easy to know to come back to. I believe it's back here somewhere where there's one door that's a power bomb door that isn't marked on the map. There is no room shown on the map after it, so you can kind of easily just forget it's there. So, yeah, things like that. Be really annoying. But yeah, all these enemies can't be hurt by Power Beam without being charged up. And the pseudo screw attack does work on it. I just am very bad at doing that. But instead, I decided to refill on this guy's little fire-breathing acid sack things. I don't know. It's also very good at surviving, apparently. But yeah, there's an item in this room. It's like, yay, I can go get this. And again with the armored lettuce leaf, which I can hit. Which again, this just goes into me being a little more careful with the enemies around here. Not just running into things. Which again, not such a huge deterrent. And another missile. The total ammo for the hack, if you collect everything, I believe is 500. So that is something to keep in mind. I've got a little over 10% of the total ammo in the game. Of course, I'm still missing major upgrades and stuff, so that's something else. So yeah, I mean, tougher enemies and stuff that I can still damage and things. This is all it's really making me do, is just be a little more slow, more careful. This is not telling me turn away. Now, giant side hoppers, on the other hand, are a little more scary. Especially when you're a bad shot. And they do take quite a bit of ammo as well, so. So maybe it was this door that had the power bomb door off of it that's not marked. One of these rooms over here does that. Nope, it wasn't this room. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of where I did the pseudo screw attack on this. It's like, oh, that works. And then I never returned to it because I am a doofus. It's sort of like this IBJ thing with this bomb. I'd do something later, actually in search of super missiles, believe it or not. And then I just sort of don't do it again for reasons I don't know. It might have been because like person was running all over the planet looking for an upgrade or something he needed. One of 2 upgrades he needed. And so I didn't want to do anything that might put me in that position, I guess. Thought maybe by not doing things like that I would find the thing easier. Not necessarily the case. So yes, there's a power bomb there, blocked by power bomb blocks. Get used to seeing that. Now, power bombs, I believe, take 20 ammo to use, and the tanks give you 15 ammo upgrade total. So they don't match up, but it gets to the 500, and it still works pretty well. And again, it's like, oh, combo box, I can't do this. And I can't do it this way either, because I don't have power bombs. It's like, So yeah, get used to seeing things blocked off by power bombs and speed booster blocks. That's just how this act goes. And over here was a tunnel to, I believe, more disappointment? Or this might have been... No, this was more disappointment. More power bomb blocks. It's like, okay, I guess. Say we can get back here, but then the open world closes off. It's like, nope, you can't actually do things. You can look, but you can't touch. And again, with that powerbomb door. And again, that powerbomb door being there just made me go around in a circle. Didn't actually make me not go in the area. Just made me take more time to go to the same place, and then because the other side wasn't blocked off, I could get up here and then find out, well, I can't even do anything anyway, so what was the point? And after I saw that map there, I beginning to think the room I am thinking of with the powerbomb door in Brinstar that's not marked as actually further left and not quite over here. And again, that super missile door right there, the one before Kraid was annoying, because I was thinking I was getting to Kraid. That super missile door there is what really threw me off, because I looked at the frames on the video, I'm like, oh wow, I'm getting up there, I should go save. It's like, there's a save underneath here. Nope, there's a super missile door here. You got back here. Anyway, now you're just sort of stuck here, deal with it. There's things like that where you block off areas, but still allow the player a very roundabout way of getting back to them. And instead of any sort of reward, it's just a whole lot of, oh, you need this item anyway, so why'd you come back here? It's like, well, why did you let me go back there? That was the case. When you blocked off other sides to it. And yes, I saw a suspicious thing before. I'm like, oh, that is interesting. But again, the SMV was getting a little long, so I decided I'll just go save. Look at that in the next video, which we actually will do in the next video. So, with that, thanks for watching, and we will see you for the next part where we continue to explore and maybe make some progress. So we'll see you for that.